Brazil's President Jair Bolsonaro, who's 65 years old, has tested positive for coronavirus on July 8, 2020. Joe Biden, who's 78 years old, on December 21, 2020, and January 11, 2021 received the first and second doses of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. Saudi Arabia's King Salman, who's 85 years old, received the first dose of the Pfizer-BioNTech coronavirus vaccine in Neom on January 8, 2021. On January 13, Indonesian President Joko Widodo, who's 59 years old, received the first shot of a Chinese-made COVID-19 vaccine Sinovac after Indonesia approved it for emergency use and began efforts to vaccine millions of people in the world's fourth most populated country. Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan, 67 years old, received his COVID-19 vaccine China's Sinovac in front of TV cameras on January 14, a move that a spokesman for his AK party said to alleviate any public doubts about the effectiveness of the shot. Argentina's President Fernandez, 62 years old, received his first dose of that vaccine on January 21st and his second in February. A little over 2 months after receiving the Russian-made Sputnik V, Argentinian President Alberto Fernandez has tested positive for the coronavirus. On January 14th, Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, who's 67 years old, said he has tested positive for COVID-19, an announcement that comes as his country registers the highest levels of infections and deaths to date.
I'm optimistic. The president.
South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, who's 68 years old, receives a Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine in Khayelitsha, Cape Town, South Africa, Wednesday, February 17, 2021. Ramaphosa was among the first in his country to receive the vaccination to launch the inoculation drive in the country. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison, who's 52 years old, February 20th received the first dose of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who's 70 years old, received the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine on Monday, March 1st. He was administered a jab of Covaxin, an indigenously developed vaccine. Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga received his second dose of U.S. drugmaker Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine in Tokyo on April 13, with the shot coming ahead of his first face-to-face meeting with U.S. President Joe Biden in Washington on April 16. He received his first vaccination on March 16. The UK Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, who is aged 56, got his first dose at London's St. Thomas's Hospital on March 19, where he was treated in intensive care last April after contracting COVID-19. South Korea's President Moon Jae-in, who's 68 years old, received AstraZeneca's coronavirus vaccine on March 22 ahead of an overseas trip, as the country began inoculating more senior citizens and health workers to accelerate its vaccination drive. Russian President Vladimir Putin, 68 years old, said on April 13 he got his second COVID-19 vaccine shot 3 weeks after getting the first dose. Italy Prime Minister Mario Draghi, 73 years old, and his wife Maria Serenella Capello received their first doses of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine on March 19, as Italy looks to ramp up its vaccination campaign. The 66-year-old German Chancellor Angela Merkel received the vaccine at the specially installed center in Berlin's former Tempelhof Airport, which is currently working exclusively with AstraZeneca, a vaccine that is only available to the over 60s in Germany. Around 3,000 people a day can currently receive a vaccination there. The leaders of 4 countries, including the United Kingdom, South Korea, Italy, and Germany, were vaccinated with AstraZeneca. The leaders of 4 countries, including the United States, Saudi Arabia, Australia, and Japan, received Pfizer vaccines. The leaders of Indonesia and Turkey registered the Sinovac vaccine. The leaders of Argentina, South Africa, and India received other vaccines. The president of Argentina was infected 2 months after being vaccinated. The leaders of Brazil and Mexico acquired antibodies through infection. After the British leader was infected, he was vaccinated again with AstraZeneca. Because they are less than 50 years old, the leaders of Canada and France have not yet their turn to vaccinate. The only leader in the G20 country who has not vaccinated publicly is the 67-year-old General Secretary of China Xi Jinping. Since he usually only eats food supplied through special channels, Chinese netizens speculate that he has been secretly vaccinated with Pfizer rather than the less effective Chinese vaccine.